Hello, everybody, and welcome to the pre-show Moonbase 2. There I am. We're here with Big D. Hello, Big D. We're going to be talking about Transformers again this week, shockingly.
Excellent.
We were talking. Me and you were talking about your Ogren that you're hoping to make that's based off your Dark Tide dude. This is pre-show, so we can talk about that. What's the name of your character? Is his name spelled? These are two words. B-E-E-G, right? First word, big. B-E-E-G. New word, K-O-K.
No.
Why? That's a quality Ogren name.
It is. I should probably change it. But no, he's just called Bron.
Bron.
Yeah, it was the default name, but I refreshed the randomized name for it a few times, and that's what came up.
I can't remember what I called mine. I think I gave mine a stupid name, but I don't think it was Big Cock, unfortunately. But then you should be able to call him Big Cock because it's K-O-K.
Yeah.
So that's technically not the rude word, and that's how an Ogren would probably spell cock as well.
Yeah, and it should be possible to do that because you can go into the barber shop now and do stuff like that.
Stylize your cock.
Well, he styles you, and also gives you a mind wipe. Gives you a whole new. He literally makes you a whole new you.
That's right, because you can then choose from a different backstory, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Of course. Simon Tang's popped up in chat. Hello, Simon. Welcome to the show.
Hey, Simon.
Oh, Simon, if you have any questions for us for the end of the show for non-transformery things like G.I. Joe or any other action figures stuff, you can get your link ready and whatnot, because I don't mind talking about other toy lines and whatnot. I find it easier to talk about toys than I do like video games. If someone was like, "What do you think of this video game?" Like if someone said, "What do you think of FIFA?" or like Football Coach Manager, I'd be like, "I don't fucking know. This is boring shit." Someone shows me a toy, even if it's a shitty McFarlane figure, and I can at least talk about it.
You can have an opinion about that, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I've not played a FIFA game since Road to World Cup '98.
I'm trying to think.
That was for demo.
I'm trying to think what the one I played in the very, very brief high school FIFA club that we had going on back in high school was. And it must have been in the early 80s, if not the late 90s.
Yeah,
it has to be.
I have never played FIFA, Madden, any NHL game.
Have you played Blood Bowl?
You know what's funny about Blood Bowl?
Yeah.
I own Blood Bowl. I've played for tabletop because I played 2nd edition back in the day.
Yeah.
I own Blood Bowl 1 and 2 on the PC. I've never got around to playing either of them.
Oh, I think they play like the board game, but I want to say at one point they played like a FIFA game, but I'm not sure now. Maybe I'm thinking of something else.
Yeah, I mean, I love how they presented them in the video games. From what I've seen, the reveal video for the Lizard Man team, I think, still an all-time classic with the Slan with his juice box hat with the straws. I thought that was genius.
Yeah,
I'm easily pleased.
I would definitely put that more in the good category of games that GW sign off on, rather than mostly the mediocre to bad that they usually do.
Blood Bowl, it helps that there's a really solid core engine for the tabletop.
You know what I would say for the Blood Bowl games? I'd probably say they're uninspired, and I say that purely on the fact that it's just basically the board game.
Yeah, and it doesn't have quite the insanity that you can get out of the what you can get out of the hobby side of Blood Bowl.
Yes.
The hobbyists really go mental with Blood Bowl. It's had some of the most inventive paint schemes and kit bashes.
What do you think's more inventive, Blood Bowl or Mordheim? Because I think Mordheim might be because it doesn't get done anymore. So only the fucking crazy people do Mordheim stuff.
That's true. I mean, I'm the guy who, when Mordheim came out, tried to do a Robin of Sherwood style band, which didn't really work because one, there wasn't really a war band, but it worked with properly. Aesthetic.
Yeah. There was EC Friar Tuck because there was a fat dude in a Bretonian set. I know because I have him. He's a.
Oh, I know. I have all three of those.
Okay.
So I used Little John and Friar Tuck from that. The Robin I kit bashed out of the Witch Hunter Captain, the one with the sword over it, its back and holding
a
head. I replaced the head with a bow.
Yeah.
And then I used for 2 Middenheim Youngbloods as like much for Miller's son and Maid Marian. And then I just kit bashed together a bunch of archers out of the rest of the mercenaries kit. But they didn't do well because they kind of bounced off a lot of things quite often.
Yeah, I imagine they'd be relatively squishy.
Yeah, my hit rolls were not great.
Oh, no.
Yeah, and because I was trying to go for that wild forest approach, I played them as Middenheimers, so we got the +1 strength, but that doesn't really do much good if you're trying to shoot arrows at people.
Yeah, no, unfortunately.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a shame. Simon says, I started playing Chaos Gate. The play interface is not great. I'm assuming, Simon, you mean the modern Chaos Gate versus, what was it, the 90s Chaos Gate?
For modern, I've had a play around with it, and I actually like the aesthetic and how they depict the Grey Knights. Like little things like the Terminators can't climb up to the second floors of buildings, but they can just go straight through walls. Whereas the Power-Armed Space Marines literally punch handholds into the sides of buildings to climb up, which I find hilarious. And it's got some really nice aesthetic flourishes, but the interface is weird. It's like I spent ages jumping around the map trying to work out how I got into another mission. And what I didn't realize but I hadn't actually done a very important step first. But that's because it's not clear you have to do that step.
Which step?
Oh, you have to get there's a particular scan you have to initiate, but it wasn't the scan I'd been doing.
Oh.
Or the way I'd been doing it.
Right.
So I've been jumping around, using my momentum, generating all this bad presences across the map, and then I was like, oh shit, I can't do anything now. Bugger.
Had you not put down the Auspex stuff, basically?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
That's my fault.
Yeah. No, I would agree. It's not desperately clear, like, generally the interface. I think the interface is simplified because it was meant to be put on consoles as well.
Yeah.
So I think that's probably a limitation.
It is a game that I would love to see them return to.
Yes.
Refine it, because I think it has all the pieces to be a really solid game.
My main issue with the game is it gets incredibly repetitive very quickly.
Yeah.
And it feels like you have to spend a long time so you can level up everything, because the forces of Nurgle get really strong pretty quickly.
Yeah. I still haven't picked up the Assassin or Dreadnought DLCs yet, because I keep missing one.
Dreadnought seems like it's dog shit from what people say generally. Because the Dreadnought can't be used on every mission. It's only specific missions it can be used on.
But I like the idea of getting a Tech Marine, because I actually, one thing I've always keep meaning to do is kit bash together a Grey Knight Tech Marine. Because I've always, since they introduced Tech Marines to the Grey Knight roster, since their first proper codex, it's one of these ideas like, well, actually, that's a really interesting concept, because, they would need to have Tech Marines.
The problem with the Tech Marine in the game, though, is it's primarily support role for the Dreadnought.
Oh, really?
I'm pretty sure it is. I think it can work on its own, but it's, it's meant to be there to help fix the Dreadnought. And if the Dreadnought isn't used on most missions, he's just there. The Assassin one's much better.
That's
I
cool.
can recommend that.
I'm just, because I have a bag full of the, when they redid the Tech Marine with the massive servo harness in like 4th or 5th edition?
No, off the top of my head, no.
It's one that they did a redesign, an alternate version to go with the Thunderfire cannon. It's for one that came with a 4-armed servo harness.
Okay.
With all guns on it. Well, I have I had a spare 2nd edition Tech Marine. Didn't realize that.
Well, you did give me one, to be fair.
Yeah, I know. That's really weird. That's really weird, though. But I have the other sculpt.
Oh. You had both. Well, of course you had both of them. Of course you did.
Yeah, but
that shouldn't be
the thing is, I know for a fact I never painted this one up. For one I gave you, I did at one point it was painted for my original Blood Angels army. This one, I have no idea where it came from. But I'm looking at it, and I have spare. Oh, I have the Bear Techmarine head. That's handy. Yeah, I actually have one each of the 3 different four-fed Techmarine bodies, because there's the Thunderfire Cannon one, who's like looking upwards slightly. The one that they had as the main release, who's like has a bolt gun and firing. And they did another version of him that's got a bear head.
Okay.
So I might potentially look at trying to turn one of these into a Grey Knight. That could be fun.
I mean, why not? Welcome, Puddle of Cheese. Quality name.
Hello.
You must be incredibly hot if you are a puddle of cheese. Like fucking lava.
Yeah, that sounds unpleasant, dude. You want to maybe see a doctor.
Do you think you could kill someone by... Yeah, well, of course you could. Imagine falling into a vat of boiling cheese. That's a bad way to go, right?
Andy, is this your supervillain origin story?
I'm just saying, you know how the Joker was created in the Acme factory, chemical factory? What if he fell into a vat of boiling cheese and became the Cheeseler? Just cheeses people all the time. Welcome, Orange. Hello. Orange says, I love the name Thunder Thigh Cannon. It is a good name. Is that what you said, Biggie?
I said Thunder Fire, but Thunder Fire is equally hilarious.
Oh, fire. Okay. Thunder Fire Cannon. Not Thigh Cannon. We should probably get the Poopcast started, though. We've got stuff to talk about. Also, welcome, Cool Alexander. Andy, you need to tweak out the right link to Twitch stream. You added a 5... Oh, piss. Well, thanks for letting me know. I appreciate it. I think... Nah, fuck. We're just gonna start the show. People can. You figured it out, Alexander. Everybody can figure it out.
Yeah, viewers are smart. They know what they're doing.
Can I edit tweets? No, because I'm not a blue tick, so I can't tweak that now. Oh well, it's fine. It's fine. Show us your evil DMs. Never. I will never show you my pornography DMs. Never. Okay, Puddle of Cheese. That's my origin story, actually. I was mozzarella cheese scientist who fell into my own cauldron of boiling hot Gouda cheese and became a new man. Oh my god. I wish I had a funny cheese pun to follow that up with, but I don't. I don't know enough about cheese. I know more than, I think, your average American who can't tell the difference between a slice of cheese and a bit of plastic. But that's neither here nor there.
See, Americans are weird because I find that from looks of things, if anyone from the state of Wisconsin seems to know a lot about cheese, it's everyone else who isn't quite as keyed up on it.
That's true. All right, let's put out the music and we'll start pooping. All right, music time.
Yep, hit it.
Welcome to Moonbase 2.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Moonbase 2 podcast. My name is Andy, Decade Andy. I'm joined by the biggest man with a D. It's Big D. Hello, Big D.
Howdy.
It's another day. It's another week. It's been 2 weeks since we've had bits of news to talk about Transformers-wise, because I skipped last week. But fear not. There's not a huge amount to talk about, really. There's a few bits here and there, so I'm glad you're here with me, Big D, to hold my hand. We may as well get straight into it. But first, I'll ask, how are you doing, Big D? How are you doing?
I'm doing okay, mate. How are you doing?
Tired. Always tired. Never rested. I pulled a muscle, I think on my back shoulder. It was a muscle that goes into, like, your neck. So for the past, 4 days, every time I turn my head to the left, it's just been pain.
Ouch.
Yeah, you know. So sleeping's been an issue recently just because, like, lying on the neck and all that jazz. I was like, what the fuck? You know, one of those fun things. That sounds
distinctly unfun.
Yeah, it wasn't super good. It did affect my sleeping, but what can you do? We do have Transformers news to talk about. We're going to be starting off with the New Age stuff. Going to be talking about New Age toys. H66 Bomber. Was there one before that? No, Bomber. We'll talk about Bomber first. This is the new color variant of him. There's two versions of him. There's the H66S BB, which is a shattered glass version, which includes a deco. This is the Swerve mold, if you didn't know.
Yep.
And then the H68B Leprechaun, which is the eHobby GoBot Smallfoot deco with a slight retooled head, including a gun and welder. So I guess we'll talk about the 66S, which was the Shattered Glass version first. That's the first one on the list. So what colors is he? He's very Constructicon.
I was going to say, he seems to be cosplaying as a Constructicon.
Kind of, but he's not purple, but bluish purple.
Yeah, it's close enough for disco, as they say.
Definitely Constructicon green, though. It's not a bad color scheme, I'd say.
No,
it's all right.
It's a nice. It works really nicely on this design.
Yeah. How do you think he's turned out, Big D? Do you like him?
I think it looks lovely. It's another case of New Age doing New Age things and giving you options for your collections. And I mean, if you're doing Shattered Glass, then this is a nice addition to things because it looks like a nice mold anyway.
Yeah.
And it's a really nicely laid out color scheme.
It's one of those things, as usual. I always feel kind of when it's not exactly when they just lift a color scheme and just throw it and go Shattered Glass. It definitely feels a little, just a smidge different, just because they turn it to blue instead of purple, but it's a small distinction.
I mean, have we seen this mold in Shattered Glass?
Probably not.
Or this. Because that's the thing I've noticed. That a lot of their Shattered Glass colors do seem like they are actually coming up with. They're maybe taking existing color schemes, but they're applying them to molds they've never been used on before.
Maybe
very rarely.
The problem with Shattered Glass is I don't know enough about Shattered Glass completely to be 100% and be like, oh yeah, this is 100% being used in the fiction, or this is just made up for this toy.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, with Shattered Glass, I don't think anyone really does because there's so little about it.
And I'm
so
sure
much
it's
of it
changed. It must have changed as well from BotCon exclusive to IDW exclusive to whatever I guess it is now, which I don't know what it is now. No,
but I do appreciate that it's kind of latched onto a part of the community and they seem quite keen on it. So that's fun.
Everybody loves the not evil. Well, the mirror universe stuff generally. They like the idea of what if the hero was bad. Maybe you could blame Star Trek because I think that there must have been stuff before Star Trek that did it, but
Star Trek popularized it. They gave us they literally are the TV tropes page for mirror universes.
Well, surely they must have taken like Shattered Glass universe from, I guess, different dimension theory and maybe the doppelganger thing. Where there's another version of you, but a different. I wonder.
And I mean, Marvel and DC or comics in general have used alternate evil versions of characters to great use over the years.
Yeah.
So it's not an uncommon theme. It's just kind of fun, but Transformers has had it applied to itself, which I don't think anyone would have really considered like 20 years ago.
Probably. We have some messages in chat, so we'll quickly go through them. We have one from Puddle of Cheese. Who's your favorite Transformer Mines Unicron? Who's your favorite Transformer Mines? Oh, I'm stupid. I thought he meant mines as in like the mining process. Not as in Unicron's his favorite. I'm stupid. I can't read. So, Big D, who's your favorite Transformer? That's a good question.
Oh, that's a tough one.
Say Bumblebee.
Probably purely because. No, it's probably Grimlock purely because I've bought so many versions of him over the years.
Oh wow, that's an okay one to go for.
Generic,
but whatever.
A little bit. Well, it's either him or Jazz. Because Jazz was my first Transformer.
I'm trying to think who my favorite is. I think I connected more with Transformers with how much I liked their toy or how cool I thought they looked, more so than their character. I don't know. I think I really like Bludgeon. I was like, I never had the Bludgeon toy as a kid, but always had the do you remember when we were talking about the toy lines and we were looking at the little advert magazine things?
Yeah.
I had the Action Master one and the later Pretender one, so I always saw Bludgeon and Thunderwing, and I always looked at Bludgeon and saw him as a skeleton samurai and was like, that's pretty cool. I'd like to get him. And I did.
I actually did. I did have the original Bludgeon as well back in the day, and he was for what he was perfectly fun. I luckily had a samurai sword that fit him perfectly.
Yeah, it was always weird that he never came with a samurai sword. That was always a bit of a weird choice back in the day. But Love Cheese said, I subscribe. Thank you very much, But Love Cheese. Much appreciated. Exel Hedge says, I don't know why Shattered Glass Swerve reminds me of animated Dirt Boss. Sorry, no, it's I don't know why he reminds me of animated Dirt Boss. If he actually had I'm guessing you mean if the animated Dirt Boss had a vehicle mode. I can see it. He's got that kind of stumpy shape to him.
I can as well. I can get behind that.
What do you think of the GoBots version of the Swerve mold with the slightly new head? Technically, we've seen this idea before because Hasbro's done it for their was it Generation Select version, wasn't it, that they had in the 3 GoBot pack?
Yes, right? A set which is now absurdly cheap on in-demand toys. It's like 25 quid.
I'm not surprised, to be fair.
I'm not, but it's still a cracking bargain if anyone fancies those 3 sculpts, let alone if you're a GoBots collector. But
I mean, if you're a GoBots collector, you've already probably brought it. I think that's probably why no one else is buying it, to be honest. You know. You still there?
Yeah.
Oh, there you are. Okay.
No, I'm still here. Had a slight cut out for a second there. I do apologize. But no, I dig this. I like the tweak to the face.
Yeah.
The head.
Yes.
It seems to have a bit of you know how Crasher's head looks
kind of
GoBots, where she's got like that the domino mask effect. I like how this has got a bit of that going on as well. That's a nice touch. But it's nice that they've done it. They didn't have to.
I think they did have to, knowing Newage and how often they do retools and whatnot.
I suppose. And it looks
slight retools.
It does look like it is just the actual faceplate that's been swapped out. So that may have been a fairly easy thing to replace, given how it's set in the head. So, but yeah, it's nice that they've done it. It's a nice set of colours again. A very nice fiery goldy orange with that red.
Hot rod colours, effectively. Or Flame, if you want to go for a new release, I suppose. Is that his name? Flame, the tank guy? That was his name.
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
Yes. He had a very lame name.
Poor guy. But these 2 are coming out, or have came out. I'm guessing coming.
Are they another of their individual releases, are they?
Yeah, they're individual releases. Newage usually do the individual releases rather than...
I was getting my head confused between Newage and Dr Wu, where Dr Wu always do them as double packs.
That's right, yeah.
Of some sort.
But the difference between those ones is these are Legend scale, those ones are Micromaster scale. Not a huge difference, but minor.
But no, these actually look really nice.
We also have, in the New Age category, we have the H70 Oddball. It's got them listed as 2 different things here, as H70B Daskull and H70S Shmulik. Okay. So Daskull is the Shattered Glass deco for Warpath. It includes the firing missile effect. And Shmuckle is the GoBots Treads version. I'd say both of them are kind of meh. We have Blue Tank. And we have Green Tank.
Yeah. I don't know why, but Daskull I'm getting real Kill Bison vibes from. That particular shade of blue with all the silver is giving me a lot of that vibe going on.
But Kill Bison's like toffee coloured.
Oh wait, am I getting them confused? Who's the other one?
Drillhorn is the blue one.
That's the one I meant, Drillhorn.
Oh, okay. He turns into the drill.
Yeah, but he's still a tank who's blue with silvery white bits on him.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Okay.
Yeah. Look, I'm trying to think who they've nicked this color scheme from. All right.
I mean, it's blue. You know. Yeah. Who's the color scheme? Someone who's blue. That's all he is. He's just blue.
I mean, it's a nice blue. It's nice that there's actually multiple shades of blue as well. It's not just one shade. There's a darker shade going on nice, distinctive red for the eyes going on there. That's cool. It's a really crisp silver as well that they've used as like for contrast colors. That's nice.
I think I'd rather him have like camo, like tank camo on him, just to make him a bit more interesting. You know, rather than just the flat blue.
Yeah, that'd give me a little more something unique going on.
And again, I don't know if this is just happens to be what Warpath's color scheme is, but again, who cares? You know, shine glass isn't a really big thing. I get why Schmulk is just green, because again, we saw the Hasbro version of it, and it was just green. So you know, that's all this was going to be. Again, I'm not sure how well the GoBot versions of these are going to do. They'll probably do fine, but I wouldn't expect a huge selling.
He's got a different head as well. Yeah.
Oh, very slightly different. Yeah.
Yeah.
Different
eyes, different crest on the head. Yeah.
It's a very minor change, but yeah, I didn't notice that until you mentioned it. But yeah, it is very slightly different.
Yeah.
But yeah. I wouldn't say
nice that they've done it, but
either way, these aren't new. These are just kind of recolors of things that we've seen before. They're okay. They're fine. If you're interested in them, they're coming. Next up, we have Dr. Wu, Impact Wave / Supersonic and Explosion, which are Decibel, G1 Decibel / Graphene and Noise. I have no idea why he's... Oh, okay, now I do. I scrolled down and I figured it out. Okay, so these are the cassettes from G1, the Dinobot cassettes, the Autobot versions of them that could combine together. Graphy is the Pteranodon, if that's how you say that, and Noise is the Allosaurus. And they also have the images of Impact Wave and Supersonic and Explosion here as well. If you wondered, these are Micromaster scale, so it's 7 centimeters tall in the combined robot mode. So again, reasonably small little guys. Let's have a look at the pictures. How do you think these are turned out? Because I always thought the G1 figures of these were pretty ugly. The original figures were not very good. These look a lot nicer and in proportion and not quite as broken, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I didn't really know that these guys existed until I saw this advertised on Show Z and then kind of put in a pre-order for them because I thought they looked nifty.
Do you mean these ones specifically, or the original G1 versions?
Well, I didn't know the original G1 versions were a thing.
Okay.
Because it was, I think they were a Takara exclusive.
Oh yeah.
And a very kind of niche release as well at the time.
Yep.
But I saw these come up on my feed, went to Show Z and I was like, oh, that's nifty. I'll put £1 down to pre-order a set of those. Why not?
Why not?
More companions for Blaster, always good.
Yeah.
So
I'm not sure how they'll scale with the Blaster if these are Micromaster. Well, Micromaster-ish scaled, I suppose.
Well, the tapes are the same size as Blaster's tapes.
Oh, are they? Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, because it's just like their other tapes they've done in the past for Soundwave.
Ah, fair enough.
So they're basically that. They fit in with the Siege tapes effectively,
and the Studio Series ones as well. I imagine, right?
Yeah. So this will probably stand taller than like Frenzy, Rumble, or Rewind or Eject.
Yeah, I'd imagine so. Maybe not a huge amount, but a little bit. Yeah.
No, but they'll also be a lot more posable in their combined forms, which is nice.
Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, because
the robot mode does look reasonably posable, I'd say, and the dinosaur modes look.
They look interesting.
The Allosaurus looks a bit more like a crocodile with big legs. That is, you know, the image of the crocodile that kind of flattens itself out and it looks like it's been ran over meme.
Yeah.
It kind of looks like that, but just with bigger, longer legs. And the pterodactyl thing, again, it's a little better than Laserbeak, I suppose. Or maybe it's a little worse than Laserbeak. I don't know. What do you think?
But it's doing some different stuff to get the effect. So it doesn't look like a Condor. Actually, does look a bit more like a weird dinosaur bird thing.
The problem is the legs of the robot mode are obviously the in quotations wings. And they do just look like legs.
You're always going to have that working against it, unfortunately. But it still looks a damn sight better than the G1 versions did.
Oh, yeah. Those ones were very interesting to look at, to be honest.
I mean, they were very late G1, very kind of clearly, what can we do different to the other tapes that could also do something else? Because
I'd almost describe them as experimental.
Yeah. I mean, this was when, I mean, that set of tapes that gave us Slam Dance and, was it Squawk Box? Those two, the previous two combiner tape sets, they were kind of the last hurrah of the tapes, and just getting into the phase where they were giving gimmicks to everything across the line beyond just transforming. So because they felt they had to. But no, I like these. Like I say, I've got a pre-order in. I actually really look forward to having it in hand because I'm still annoyed I've not been able to pick up that Squawk Talk and Beast Box set. So
which one did you pre-order out of interest? Because I noticed that the other image here, because there's two sets here. There's the toy version, and then there's, I guess, the more vibrant colored version. Do you know which one you pre-ordered?
I think I went for the more vibrant color scheme, to be honest.
I think that looks a bit more interesting because the other one looks not bad, just faded out, like less vibrant.
Yeah, I feel that the other one is designed more to fit into the Siege aesthetic, whereas the toy color versions seems like they just feel a bit more classic.
It's almost it feels like redundant, right? Because if they're so close to being the same, it almost feels like, well, what's the point? Why not just have done the original version, the original toy color version, and done something a bit, I don't know, different for the other repaint? It's odd.
They have got a third repaint coming down the line for them, though.
I'm not shocked.
I've only seen like a coloured digital mock-up of it so far, and I think it's more of a black with gold detailing.
They didn't just go the generic route and just do Triptychon kind of colours for it.
No, but I don't think it seems supposed to be shattered glass that they're going for.
Okay.
But it's still interesting. I mean, someone suggested they might also try and do a Dinobot color scheme from them, which I don't see working.
Dinobot as in G1 Dinobots, or Dinobot as in Beast Wars Dinobot?
G1 Dinobots.
It'd just be grey then, mostly, and that'd be kind of boring.
Because you couldn't get the way the Dinobots have, they always have that flash of red on the torso. It doesn't really fit on either of these two figures to get that.
No.
Not looking like they are here, effectively.
Maybe they could get it to work, but I'm not sure exactly how they'd have to play with the colors to make it work and make, the dinosaurs look interesting as well.
And make the Opmos, make the tapes work, which I know is always yes, working quotation marks.
Yeah. I don't think that's even possible. I think mostly if you want the tape modes to look like tapes, you've mostly got to go to like toy hacks for stickers, mostly.
Yeah, that's pretty much.
So you're getting these. Do you know when they're coming out? Any indication?
Oh, let me just go to Showsy a second and see what they're telling me.
Not sponsored, by the way, still. I'd be happy to get sponsored by Showsy. There's stuff that I like to buy from them, so...
Yeah, hint, hint.
I'll take it. While you're doing that, Orange says Siege tapes were packaged as Micromasters. That's true, actually. Yeah, technically.
Yeah.
But the Micromasters that Dr. Wu do are smaller, if I remember.
Yeah, the actual main robots are always small, but the tapes seem to be scaled in line with...
with the Hasbro tapes thingies.
Okay, let's see.
It might not even tell you a date. It might just say first quarter, second quarter, 2025. I wouldn't be shocked.
Late December 2024.
Oh, so this year, maybe.
In theory.
Maybe. I guess we'll see.
Height 7 centimeters.
Yep.
Tiny.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Dr. Wu is also doing the DW-E54 Iron Fortress, which is a super deformed Metroplex. Is this something that you've bought into, Big D?
I haven't. I tend to avoid super deformed, but I always love seeing it show up because they're always just fun.
So this is, as mentioned, obviously, with the title, super deformed, chibi styled 10 centimeters, so it's 3 centimeters bigger than your Tape Boy. version of Metroplex. He apparently will have Six Gun, Slammer, and Scamper as well. Metroplex can turn into his city and mobile base mode, plus extra Energon Cube mode. Oh, they're going off the that toy line, the Cube toy line. What's that Cube toy line called? Does that have a fancy name?
Beastbox?
Is that what it's called? Beastbox. So they're going for the Beastbox market as well with this.
Yeah, I think so. Sharpo gets a lot of those, and they look like being quite good fun, to be fair.
Yeah. Oh, well, this obviously not that brand, but I guess going for that same aesthetic and deal. I think this looks pretty fun. It's like, as we've said many, many, many times over the years on Moonbase 2, the super deformed aspect is very hit or miss. Sometimes it just doesn't work for me. This is an okay mix. They've got it next to the Triptychon that they did, and I think the proportions on this are a little bit more in my flavor than the Triptychon was. They look nice next to each other, at the very least.
I mean, I hadn't realized he was that small, to be honest, because 10 centimeters is tiny.
Yeah, it's not big.
But it still gets a better city mode than the old Combiner Wars Metroplex got.
Oh, yeah. Oddly enough, the city mode looks almost... It's not this, don't get me wrong, it's not the same. It looks a bit more like Fort Max's city mode than
a little bit, yeah.
Just because of how it's being arranged, at least some of the photos with it. I think mainly because, like, when I think of Metroplex, I think of the original G1 toy where his legs are just splayed starfish open.
Yeah. Whereas this, they got the legs much more closed in, mainly for the display that they're using.
Yeah, it looks more like what I remember he looked like in the cartoon. The couple of times they accurately showed what the mode was rather than however they bloody did it. What do you think of the cube mode?
The cube is cute.
Does it remind you of Blur from Transformers Animated? You know? The vibe I'm getting. It's an odd. I don't really know why they chose to do it. I mean, I do, but you know what I mean.
God, it's not. Yeah.
And then we've also got Scamper and Slammer as well, and Six Gun. Six Gun, like the other two, are Micromaster posability, aka they've got elbow joints, and that's about it. And then Six Gun's actually got posability to him, and he looks quite good, I think.
Yeah, he does. I mean, Slammer looks like one of those... Scamper looks like one of those, is it the Q-bots? Those, like, pull back and go?
Oh, no, fuck. Oh, fuck.
The ones that have the really big heads from a few years back.
Was it the game ones where they banged into each other and they flopped up, and whoever had the right square on the chest would win, like Crash Fox or something?
I think they had that, but there was a second line someone did that didn't have that functionality. They were just like really small and cute, and
that sounds familiar as well.
Yeah, but I'm getting big vibes out from him. Slammer looks like Slammer's never supposed to transform anyway, so it's nice that they've done it. But yeah, Six Gun looks pretty damn good, actually.
And he's got his own unique alt mode, which looks, again, pretty good. He doesn't turn into the Six Guns, so it's allowed them to basically turn him into...
something that looks like it's functional.
Yeah, like a weird future spaceship thing, which, like you say, it's like, it's good enough. You know, looks like something. It's more convincing than the first run of Pretender alt mode, so there you go.
Yes.
Not a lot better than them. Well, depending on which ones we're talking about. But it's, I'd say, like, he looks better than Bomb Burst.
Yes. I mean, Bomb Burst alt mode was made by his arm guns, basically.
A lot of them were made by the extra shit that you shoved onto the side of them. There's also the E54B version, which is not the Shad Glass version. It's the
Metro Titan.
Metro Titan. Thank you. Yes, I couldn't remember his name. Yes, it's the Metro Titan version, which is a really good color scheme, which I like a lot.
Yeah.
I kind of wish they'd remolded the face so he had a mean look on his face, because he's the Decepticon Fortress, if I remember. Is that right?
Yeah, he's something like that.
Yeah, so give him a mean look. But again, he does the Battle Fortress mode, in quotations, the City mode, in quotations again, and then the Cube mode as well. I didn't know that. If you look at the Cube mode for the Metro Titan, Slammer can squeeze in there as well. Not Slammer, Scamper.
Scamper.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nifty.
That's weird.
That's adorable.
Can Six Gun squeeze into the cube mode, I wonder? Maybe he's like snuggled inside the cube.
I'm sure someone will find a way. Ditto
Probably.
with Slammer and Scamper.
Oh,
Slammer especially.
The Metro Titans Six Gun has a different head. That's cool.
Oh yeah.
I like that. It's a shame there was not a bit more of that, but I appreciate that. I actually think I like the Metro Titan version more, to be honest.
It's a more unique. Well, for one thing, it's a more unique casting because we don't see it very often, especially not a Decepticon.
More colourful as well, obviously.
Yeah, it's just more colourful, and it's not Metroplex.
Yes, poor Metroplex. It's definitely not you.
Yes.
Yeah,
you see all those third-party Metroplexes, and people go, "I'm sorry, you're just Metroplex."
Yeah, you know.
You're white and boring.
You have no idea how often I've been told that throughout my life.
Yeah, same.
There was the Energy Dragon was previously the Triptychon version. It doesn't show what the alt color scheme was from though off the top of my head. I wonder what they'll do next. Will they do cube version of Scorponok? Will they do cube version of Fort Max?
I mean, you kind of think they would.
I mean, why not, right? If they can think of a way to do it.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like they've got the engineering down pat and it looks like it's really good engineering as well because Metroplex looks like he poses well.
Yeah,
transforms into two really quite nice alt modes, and the cube. I mean, I'd love to see them get Scorponok into that cube because that'd just be the tail wrapping around it several times.
What would you do for an alt color scheme for him? Would you just do Black Zarak, or would you do the weird thing of going like, oh, why not make him what's his name? Red Jasalt? Is that what his name was in Brave?
Oh, something like that. I mean, those are the obvious ones. I mean, it might be quite fun to do him and Fort Max with shattered glass scheme, so they reverse each other. So Max goes purple and green, and Scorpio is all greys and whites and blues.
That'd be interesting. Mr. White says, "White and boring, sir. We will have words." Is that just on Mr. White's business card? I wonder. White and boring. Here to help. All right, so that's Dr. Wu stuff. Now, a kit that I'm sure you've pre-ordered, Big D, is the DNA Designs DK60 King Dino Upgrade Kit. So, if we remember, Hasbro decided to reissue, slightly recolor the Combiner Wars Volcanicus Legend Scale figures that made Volcanicus and slightly tweak it into Dino King. DNA have decided to upgrade this set. There are replacement Combiner arms for Gairyu and Kakaryu, Combiner feet, Combiner crotch piece, ooh, ladies, replacement Dino torso with articulated arms for Goryu, 4 guns for the individual robots, 6 swords for the individual robot modes, new cartoon accurate Dino and robot head for Kakaryu, which is very good. I've read that bit. 2 new big guns for the Combiner, which can combine into a big scythe, and all the weapons and feet can be combined into a battle station. Are you getting this, Big D?
Maybe.
Because you do have the set, right?
Well, I cancelled my Hasbro pre-order and I ordered it from HLJ instead because it's like 20 quid cheaper.
Oh.
So
how much was it out of interest? Total.
I think it was like 70 on Hasbro, and HLJ got it and HLJ got it for like 50.
50 is still a lot, but it's what I would consider a normal price for something like this.
And it's also not coming until the new year, so I can plan ahead for it.
Yeah, because with 50, it's like £10. Is it 5 or is there 6 in this set?
There's 6.
Oh, so 5 divided by 6. Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah. And
50 divided by 6, I mean.
And as a rule, I like DNA's upgrade kits as a rule. They're quite nice in hand, and this looks quite comprehensive.
I mean, if you're getting this, I definitely would recommend getting it.
Yeah.
I mean, it seems like you're getting a lot of like useful stuff. The swords, I think it's nice to get the swords and the guns for the individual robot modes, but the important stuff is the more interesting feet, the new arms, the new Kakaryu stuff, I'd say is very important. The Goryu torso with the movable arms for the T-Rex, not as interesting. But I think most of this set is just useful.
Exactly. It's useful. Sure, you're not probably going to use everything at the same time, but I don't care. It gives me options, and that's always nice. You've got an option for using most of the bits on their own if you want to. For that, the battle station, it looks kind of janky, but it's what battle station doesn't.
Oh, it's got part fillers. Sorry, I wondered what the extra white bits were for, but to try and fill in the horrific mess that is the sludge mold, which they don't fix completely, but
no, but it's a
valiant
effort.
Helps a little bit, yeah.
And again, it just looks. It's a quality of life upgrade.
Yeah.
For a set, honestly, 4 years ago, hell, even 2 years ago, I didn't expect we'd actually get. I thought it might have been a Takara exclusive in some way. I'm doing even with their Hasbro's renewed focus on kind of bringing these lesser known bits of Transformers across to modern audiences. So it's just nice, and it's nice that this kit has. I mean, we knew that as soon as we saw the kit for Volcanicus, we were going to get this.
Yeah,
it was obvious, but it's nice that it's not just a rehash of that set. There's actually been thought put into it. They've got stuff in there.
From Hasbro, or do you mean from this DNA set?
DNA mainly. I mean, to be fair, Hasbro did. Clearly, the set was intended to be these guys from the start, hence why Grimlock was a leg. But they did. I think they didn't. Given the restraints that they clearly had, I think it works. This kit makes it look much better.
Yeah, it actually makes it look like it should, because the chest is the correct chest now. It's got the right head on the front of the chest mode.
Yeah, and I'm genuinely looking forward to getting it in hand. So
the battle station that was mentioned is very it's
yes.
You know,
it exists.
Yeah,
it's a thing.
It's nice that you can, shove all your bits of shit together if you don't want them, but it's there.
Yeah,
and it's more impressive what it does for them individually and combined, obviously.
I mean, I just love that as a combiner, they probably only just are bigger than the Studio Series Dinobots, which is perfect for these guys because they are utter Goombas.
Poor Goombas.
I love the idea that they're this really earnest team and they combine, and Grimlock just goes, well, now I can look in the eye when I punch you to death.
Excel Head says Energon Scorponok colors for the cube, and also Monstructor when Hasbro. I mean, we were lucky to get this version. Monstructor, I don't know. You need to do remolding.
That's a lot more remolding to do, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I would love it, don't get me wrong, but I think we're going to be lucky if we do see that.
I guess you could kind of get away with it because technically, like the inner robots for Monstructor were just, they were just transferred over to be the Dino King guys. It was only the shells that really changed for them. So if they wanted to half-ass it, they could just go, whatever. Which is proper. I could see them doing it, to be honest.
Yeah,
especially if they can squeeze 70 more pounds or dollars out of people.
And in fairness, the Monstructor guys were much more similar colors to their shells in a lot of ways. Not one-to-one, but there was a lot more similarities than differences in most cases.
Do you know if this is still available on HLJ? I'm guessing it's probably not, because HLJ sell out Transformers like crazy. They sell out everything like crazy, though, to be fair.
Yeah, I'm starting to get a bit hat off them because my last few Gundam purchases, I pre-ordered them the day the pre-orders went up. And the releases have come and gone.
Yeah. And
they're now saying awaiting reprint.
Yeah, back order. It's been shunted to the back order menu.
Yeah. So it's like, well, why let me order it if you weren't going to fulfill my order? So
I like HLJ, but HLJ's, I think they take in more orders than they can actually fill.
Yes, and they don't have the courtesy to tell you, which is annoying. No. But I'm giving some serial because Gundam Mad have the Blitz Duel in stock
Oh,
from
okay.
Seed Freedom, which is one I really want. Because what was that for?
Seed.
Yeah, but
Better than
for
Seed
Blitz,
Destiny, but for...
but the Duel is one of the best kits, and this is great because it's got the armor, and you also have a fully. They've done it so you do get a proper Dual Gundam underneath it as well.
It does look like a good kit, but man, that fucking story. Woof.
Have you seen Seed Freedom?
I've seen Seed and Seed Destiny, and I didn't want to watch anything else because they were so fucking terrible.
I mean, Freedom kind of does a lot to mitigate for some of the worst excesses of Destiny. It's also very much a Gundam Seed movie, so yeah, take that as you will. No, Dino King is sold out on HLJ right now. Order stop.
I'm not surprised. I might have been tempted because I saw this and was like,
yeah.
But there's no point getting this just on its own. And I'm not willing to spend £70 for the Hasbro version. It's like, go fuck yourself.
Yeah,
70
that's
quid
fair.
for it. Breh. Orange says, I wish Hasbro would do pre-tools of obscure characters like that more, like the deluxe Insecticons. I'm still waiting for my deluxe Insecticons I ordered. It's still predicted that I'm going to get them in January from Amazon. Do you remember when they were coming out? I'm guessing when my order wasn't fulfilled, they shunted my order to like January next year. Yeah. So I'm not hopeful to get it. I'm keeping my pre-order, but I'm like, all right.
Yeah, I mean, I missed out on the pre-order window for the 2 Constructicons. So I went to Amazon instead, and I'm still thinking, is that going to fulfill or not?
I mean, those will come out in stores, right? Exclusives like the Generation Select stuff won't. No, they will. They're Studio Series.
Yeah.
They will come out in stores. They will come out at least in like in-demand toys, and they'll be out on
I mean, I expect Smiths to get them because they've got most of the Studio Series line. So.
Yeah, they've got Prime, so they'll be getting those guys. It's not the same as like the Generation Select stuff, which is just mainly Amazon exclusives for the UK at least. You know. Yeah. Simon Tang says, I wonder if Bandai is not filling the wholesaler orders and the resellers are short. The resellers are short.
I mean, Bandai have had big problems with production for years now. I mean, they're trying to get, I think, 2 new factories up and running.
Still.
Just for their model kits. And
they're still trying to do it. They still haven't got it yet.
Yeah.
Now, don't get me wrong. It takes a while to build and set up a factory, I'm sure. But man, they needed it before the pandemic. Now they really need it.
Yeah, I mean, I've had some kits on back order since like 2012 with HLJ.
And oddly enough, if you lived in Japan, you could probably get them without as much faff.
Quite possibly, but also there's a distinct chance I might not have done because some of them are really obscure kits.
That's
so
true.
I just got a yen for.
I guess it depends as well, because some things are just easy to get in Japan because you obviously don't need to go through websites that exclusively ship overseas. You know, one of those things.
I mean, to be fair, I have found a bit more success. Some of the P Bandai stuff now I've found is much more accessible from like AliExpress, and some ones I have gotten are actually official Bandai product. So
I never know, like with AliExpress, I'm always concerned about who I go with because I'm tempted to buy what's it called, the CT Toys, Mafex versions of characters because there's a CT. Which is basically a KO version, if you're not aware, of like the Wolverine, which I was like, I wouldn't mind getting that, or any of the other Mafex stuff, because it's like 20 quid or 17 pounds.
The thing is, just like a lot of especially some like the fourth party Transformers KOs, I have found that some of these kits are actually really nice. I mean,
I'm not complaining about the quality or worried about the quality. I'm more worried about the seller from AliExpress.
Yeah, no,
because there are so many sellers. It's like eBay, right?
I mean, I have not. The only thing I had an issue with was one item I ordered. The seller cancelled the sale, but I got a refund for it.
Oh, that's okay.
Because they just didn't have it in stock. So everything else, I'll be honest, I've received almost everything else off AliExpress within the time allotted. and where I haven't, it's normally been like a day late or something, and they've still given me like a discount code. So
would you like a CT Toys version of Wolverine in the brown suit for £20 or less?
Ooh. I mean, I don't really do that line of figures, but that sounds really.
I mean,
tempting.
for 20 quid, it's less than an actual Marvel Legends figure.
Yeah.
There's some issues with the paint, but for the most part, it's as good quality from what people say. I mean, you can look online at reviews at CT Toys as well, and they seem to be pretty good. Simon also says, Big D, did you try to reach out to HLJ? Their customer service should be good.
Oh, I have in the past, and they've told me my order went in too late.
Quiet, white boy.
Yeah, I mean, I ordered the Megatron, Shockwave, and Soundwave triple pack.
Oh yeah, yep.
That order's actually still live on the website in my orders with HLJ, by the way.
Right.
But the after I ordered it on a pre-order, it went to order stopped. The release date came and went, and as soon as that date came and went, it was listed as discontinued. And when I raised it with them, they said we're still awaiting stock. That was over 6 months ago.
Squinty eyes.
And the same thing with the Gundam kits, where I've just gone and said, guys, I pre-ordered this as soon as I woke up on the day you listed for pre-order. I ordered it within like 6 hours of you putting it live.
That sounds a bit slow, bro.
No, but some kits I've actually ordered. I've woken up like 2-3 o'clock in the morning when the email comes through to tell me there are pre-orders live. I've gone on my phone and put a pre-order through.
Did you use an AI to buy them in bulk?
I'm not a monster.
I'm not saying you are, but other people might be.
Oh yeah, some people might be.
That might be the reason why you're not getting them.
I still put orders in a. I mean, I've been a customer for over a decade now with them.
Yeah.
So they know I've never cancelled an order that has been available for an item that's just come into stock. I've always paid for the orders they billed me for. So yeah, just a little bit of salt there, but
I understand. It makes sense to me, at least.
Yeah, I mean, it does make me a little wary from at times.
And Simon says, I'm worried about my credit card information about AliExpress. Yeah, kind of the same, I feel.
Yeah,
I don't know why. But
I do get that, but
you've never had a problem with them.
No, I mean the thing is, AliExpress itself is effectively like an eBay/Amazon marketplace. They're the ones who are facilitating the payments and everything. So if you have a problem, it's their reputation to make sure those problems are resolved quickly. So I do genuinely understand your trepidation, and I'm not knocking it at all. I fully understand it. You're talking to someone. I had 2 of my credit cards cloned the same day, by all accounts, and God. someone then decided to try and. Well, it was very optimistic of them. They tried to use both of them to buy football shirts and jewellery in the south of Italy. I had a phone call whilst I stood in HMV trying to buy wrestling DVDs, saying, "Yeah, we've had to block your card because did you try and make these purchases?" No. Why would I try and buy $3,000 worth of jewellery?
Why would I be in Italy?
That as well. And I know full well there was only one place I used both those cards, so I know where it was done. And I've never used my cards in that store ever again.
Damn. It was the store. Oh man, what store was it? If you don't mind sharing them.
Charlie Echo X-Ray.
I don't know what that. Oh. Yeah. I wish I could say I'm surprised by that. Yeah.
I know, right? Yeah.
Yeah, of course it was that store.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Of course.
Yep.
All right. Well, let's move on to the stories then. We've also got a new thing, but I'd consider this, I guess, this is a knockoff. C-Yang Culture, which I've never heard of before, are doing the Y-C002 Heidelberg. I don't know what it's called. Sure, that's the one. This is a legend scale Scorponok figure, as they say here. I assume they mean Transformers Legends, as in the toy line, rather than the figure, because it says it stands 40 centimeters tall. That's pretty big.
That would be Titan class to a legend scale figure.
Yes,
but it's also damn near Titan class, not Titan, Commander class for mainline.
Yeah, so it is smaller. I wish they wouldn't use centimeters. I wish they just inches here. How many penises is it? That's what I want to know.
I mean, one of the things I would like is to have a Scorponok and a Fort Max for scaled to other Transformer leader characters.
Well, you could argue that they were comic scaled, right? So they're scaled to everybody else.
Yeah, give me a comic scale versions of both of them, and I'll be a happy bunny.
Yeah. So other features about this is it's 74 centimeters wide in base mode. It's got light up features. It includes 2 Headmaster components and his partner, Fast Track. The design and deco are based on the G1 Japanese The Headmaster cartoon, which is why the head looks the way it does, because it's the Japanese style of head versus the other one. So, 40 centimeters tall, it says. 26 centimeters tall in Scorpion mode. He's still got baby penis Scorpion tail. So he is a shrunk down KO. Is that fair to say? Yeah.
I mean, it's that sort of scaling. I don't think it is a KO. I mean, it doesn't look like it's.
How's it not a KO? It looks exactly the same as the Titan class version.
Yeah, I suppose it does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is, as far as I can tell, it's the Titan scale, just small.
I know. It's the head sculpt that's it's distracting. Yeah, you're right.
It's just like the smaller, the shrunken down version of Combiner Wars Devastator all those years ago. I might get this because I never got, well, if you remember, I did get the Titan scaled Scorponok. It was just missing one of the parts for it, a fairly large parts, and then I had to send it back.
I'll be honest, this is going to have your price right, because there is that reprint of Scorponok coming down the pipe in the new year. And some places have got him for $160.
Oh, okay.
So, and that's a really, that's the sort of price that'll get. I mean, this Scorponok, I've not seen him really less than 200 on the third party market, on the after sale market.
Well, because this is smaller, I would imagine it would have to be generally smaller priced.
I mean, the downsized Devastator goes normally for about 30 to 40.
Yeah, and that's been out for a while as well, and it has.
So, I mean, this looks good. If this is an example of how it's a production sample, I do think it looks nice. The head is distracting, but that's because it's, like you said, it's the Takara version, so that's what we're going to have to live with.
Yeah.
Like I said, personally, I would really love to, if it's like maybe 10 centimeters shorter for that comics scaling, that'd kind of do me quite nicely for my collection. But as is, this is a nice option to have.
It would be nice to see him in comparison to other figures and how he scales next to them. It would also have been nice if there was a different head option for. I'm not saying that the head would transform itself, but if you could if you could pop it off and switch it between this head and a cartoon accurate head, that would have been quite nice, just as an extra accessory kind of.
Options are always good.
Yeah, I say so. But yeah, I think this is okay looking. It comes with a few other like small random bits as well, like really small tiny blue robots that you can stick on his base mode. There are a few effects parts as well for the guns, which is nice enough, I suppose, not super important. Simon said I had $4,000 charge on sporting bets on my credit card. Damn. I almost read that as sporting bras, and I was wondering that would be a lot of sporting bras.
Well, first, you need to see someone with his habit, mate. It's not healthy.
Or buying $4,000 worth of sporting bras.
Well,
that's a lot.
That's a different matter altogether. But no, in all seriousness, that does. It's never fun when that happens.
Nah, it's such balls.
I'm hoping you got it sorted out for me, because that's the sort of thing that really is I mean, from my experience, I always got a chuckle when people try it because it's like, mate, I don't have that much in any of my accounts. Crack on. Give it a try. Go on.
Orange says, I see you've embraced the American way and ditched the metric system. I just like when you measure action figures specifically in inches, you know? Because there are 6-inch scaled action figures, so in my brain, I know what that means. I don't know what the centimeter equivalent of that is. I don't know. Off the top of my head. XL Hitch says, I want to see a side-by-side next to Titan's Return Power Master Optimus Prime / Jinrai for the Marvel comic. There's a good point.
In fairness, Power Master Jinrai, looking at my one...
He's pretty big, right?
He's sizable. He's about 32 centimeters, more or less. If you have the the Super God Jinrai version with the feet boosters, he's about 30 centimeters.
Yeah.
Without that, probably knock another 3 centimeters of his height. So he would be noticeably smaller than this version of Scorponok. There'll be about almost 20 centimeters difference.
Interesting. That's quite a lot, actually. It's quite a bit.
Which is why I would really love to have a version that's,
a little smaller. I get that.
Yes.
So,
and it could be IDW or G1 version. I don't care. Just
that's fair.
Give me a comic version of Scorponok and Fort Max, please.
They don't want to do that. They don't want to do that. Let's move on to Kang Toys with the CT Longyang 04 Bronto Solid. So this is another one of the very highly stylized Kang Toys stuff. This one is a take on the G1 Dinobots, similar to their take on the Predaking stuff that we saw ages ago. So Bronto Solid, you figured this out. This is Sludge. I think we've talked about some of these in the past before.
Yeah, we have. Yeah.
So this, as we mentioned, extremely stylized. You'd look at it and you probably wouldn't be able to tell it's Sludge. Nice, unique design. It shows that he can transform his arms to have even bigger arms, which is kind of fun.
Yeah. He can punch like no one's business.
You can even switch out his arms with his Stegosaurus head and tail if you want to whip it around like that. So it's almost similar to the, what's it called from Gundam Wing? The Shenlong or the other one?
Yep. So he's got extra arms to mess around with.
Yep, and we see some shots of the dinosaur mode, and the leg mode. The leg mode just more looks like a stump than a leg, but maybe it's because it doesn't have the foot part attached, I imagine is the case.
Yeah, and he's got it looks like his rockets form a very big hammer in remote mode as well, which is kind of funky.
Yeah, it's a neat idea. What do you think of him then? Do you like him?
These are real interesting because, I mean, the dinosaur mode is probably
You might need to repeat yourself, Big D. You broke up.
Closest viewed version of Sludge in terms of... Sorry. The dinosaur mode is clearly the IDW version of Sludge. The head especially gives off that vibe in a big way. The robot mode doesn't really have a lot of Sludge to it at all.
No.
But I want to see... I really want to see the coloured version because Kang Toys, my main issue with them is always that there's so much going on. They got so many panels, and it is very stylized, which is, don't get me wrong, I think they've got a really strong style that they run with. They really do put their own imprint on things. Equally, though, the head sculpt for the robot mode, that's probably what does it for me, because if it was a different head sculpt, then that looks more like Sludge. This feels like they're kind of trying to have their cake and eat it.
How so? What do you mean by that?
Well, they're clearly making what is their own take. They've done Predacons, so now they're doing Dinobots. But they're avoiding making it complete. You can look and say, that's a Dinobot. I know it's a Dinobot. You know it's a Dinobot. Most Transformers fans would look at it and say, that's a Dinobot, that's Sludge. But the head sculpt is it's so boring. It's just a face-plated robot. And
I would agree it's very, it's just stereotypical Gundam, very generic-y kind of Gundam.
Yeah.
I don't think I'd describe it as they're having their cake and eating it, because there's nothing about this, like you said, that screams sludge. So I don't think he has to have a, in quotation, sludge face. I just think a more interesting face would be maybe a bit better. You know, I think my issue with the previous Kang toy release is how they used the color placement on the Predacons. Like they were very, very, very gold, almost a little bit of a gaudy, a little bit of a gaudy point. The Dinobots will obviously be more in the reds and the greys, as we mentioned before.
Well, Vesa, have we seen any of their Dinobots colored yet?
Not yet. Not yet.
So here's a question: do we think? So the obvious one is that they're going to go for G1 color scheme. So that's a lot of gunmetal gray, a lot of gold, and a lot of red. But what if instead they go for the movie Dinobots?
Oh, where it's all colors under the sun, potentially.
Well, that was for movie toys, but the actual movie Dinobots are much more monochrome.
I don't think they'll go for the. You mean like the green, the moldy green,
a slightly greenish, almost greenish chrome, almost.
No, I don't think they'd go with that kind of dirty look that they had in the movie. I think if they went for the Dinobot movie colors, they would be more the toys, just a wide variety of colors. Otherwise, I think it'll probably be sticking to the gold. Because of how gold Predaking was, I think these will be very, very gold as well.
I mean, I do generally want to see how they look, though, colored.
Yeah.
Because these are really quite interesting designs that they are very unique designs.
Mm-hmm. They're different, something new, which is nice.
Yeah, and if anything, I think perhaps trying to make them Transformers adjacent possibly does their designs a disservice. But equally, I understand why, because, that's what sells. Predaking wouldn't have sold if it wasn't clearly Predaking. And clearly it has sold because they've been able to crack on with this lot.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see where they go in the future after they finish the Dinobots. So they're going to do Technobots and stuff. I guess time will tell. I think what we'll get in the future is because they did Predaking and then they did small Predaking, which was the figures just scaled down. I think we'll see that with these guys as well.
Oh, no doubt.
So once Volcanicus is all out, there'll probably be small Volcanicus in the future as well.
I mean, I have to say that I would generally love to see their take on the Technobots. That could actually be really interesting.
It'd be interesting. Yeah, I'd be down with that. Yeah, just there might not be things I buy, but I like seeing something that's a little different.
Yeah, it's nice that they exist and there's a market for it.
Yeah. Next up, we have Blokies. These are the Transformers Galaxy version Defender.
Oh.
These are a little bit different. These are the same things that we've seen before. Something interesting that they seem to be doing in the future is going to be doing transformable figures. Which is interesting. So let me read the little description that we got here. There are small 5.5 tall chibi-style figures with 14 points of articulation, blind boxed. The collection consists of 9 robots, 4 vehicles, can be ridden by both bots, 4 chase figures. Maybe it's not transformable. I thought they were transformable. No, they're not. They're not transformable. That was my bad. These aren't transformable. I misinterpreted, because I saw the video for this earlier.
Yeah.
And I can't mute it.
I can't mute it.
I can't mute that, so we'll need to stop that. The ones that we've got are, let me read the list. We've got Thundercracker. These are the robots. Thundercracker, Bumblebee with the golden deco, Prowl, Thundercracker again. I think they made a mistake there, maybe. Scavenger, Ironhide Clear, Shattered Glass Sideswipe, Optimus Prime, Megatron. Then the vehicles, we have Thundercracker, Optimus Prime, Bumblebee Clear, Scavenger. Then the chase figures are Metallic Optimus Prime, Metallic Megatron, Armored Megatron, and Armored Optimus Prime as well. You said you were tempted by these at one point, Big D. Are you still tempted by them?
I'm tempted. I've not dipped into Blockies yet. I do generally want to, though. I've got their website saved and I'm on their newsletter, so they keep sending me offers and it's like and again AliExpress has had some good offers on cases of them. recently. I just haven't really been able to pull the trigger. But
what's stopping you from pulling the trigger, do you think?
Money.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah, fair enough.
And the lack thereof.
I wondered if there was a specific reason or if it was just financial. Financial makes sense, though.
Yeah, I mean, if that was an issue, I'd have probably bought at least a case to see what they were like, just to have a taste. I've done that quite a bit of these blind box figures from various lines in the past. I find it the best way to get a feel for it.
Yeah, I'll get an entire wave kind of deal.
Yeah, but these look lovely. These really do look nice.
Yeah, they're nice enough. What do you think of the armored Prime and Megatron, which are, I don't really know what they're meant to be takes on.
Prime looks like he's got a bit of the Cybertron Prime going on with how his wings look, especially. Meg's, the angle's just not very good, so I can't really tell. But
he has, I think on his back are meant to be. Well, it looks like the IDW tank treads, but they've been used as jetpack things.
I mean, that's fun. It's nice that they're in there.
Yes.
Chase figure. I'm not always the biggest fan of chase figures, especially if there's multiple chase figures, because it makes getting a complete weight of ball ache.
Yep.
There's someone who has bought Hero Collector more than once in the past. But no, I mean, they're not. The figures look nice. The robot modes are adorable. The vehicle modes are stupidly cute. And they just look like fun. And I like that.
Yeah. You like fun? How dare you?
Yeah, I'm getting real Robot Heroes vibes out of them as well.
Oh, they're better than Robot Heroes. They actually move.
Yeah, but you know what I mean? They've got those same sort of proportions to them. That whole chibi thing, which is nice.
Wait, what are we thinking of? Because Robot Heroes, in my mind, are the PVC figures that didn't do anything.
Yeah, they have that slightly super deformed vibe to them.
They weren't super deformed. They were pretty accurate.
Some of them have some weird proportions going on.
Like who?
Ravage.
Ravage wasn't part of Robot Heroes.
Yeah, Ravage was in one of the sets.
Who was he in the set with? We might be thinking about two different things.
I'm thinking of the sets that came as 2-packs around the same time as Revenge of the Fallen. They did a line of G1 figures and then a line of movie tie-in figures.
I think we're thinking of two different things because the ones I'm thinking of were.
Oh, you're thinking of the statues.
They were PVC characters.
Yeah.
They were classed as Robot Heroes, but they were the blind boxes from Japan that were brought over here to the UK.
Yeah, no, I'm thinking something else entirely. But they were both called Robot Heroes.
Oh, were they? Well, Transformers reusing the name of things. When's that ever fucking happened before?
What are the odds?
Jesus Christ. Oh, well.
And they were also released around the same sort of time as well.
Of course they were. So let's move on to something else that's kind of been re-pilfered again from the annals of Transformers. We brought in the Mix Mashers for Transformers, which are totally not...
Oh, this idea again.
Yeah, it's this idea again. What were they originally called?
I'm not sure, but I'm looking at some of these, and are these even some of the same... That Bumblebee looks almost identical to the last time they did this.
No, I did look up because I did do the image for the show basing it off this. Hang on, let me
Is it just because they're using those evergreen designs?
I mean, that probably helps, to be fair.
Because that looks really... that's really bizarre if you remember the original versions. And
I'm trying to remember what the original versions were called. It's so annoying. Again, let me pull up the image that I used for the show because I actually just threw on a box. The original versions were called Hero Mashers. There you go. So these are the new Hero Mashers. They're not the mixables, the maxables, the Hero Mashers. Or these are the Hero Mashers, whichever one I said. So these are replacing that, but it's the same idea where it is in an action figure where you can just rip them apart effectively and then slap them around and, give them horrible mutated diseases of having Optimus Primal's chest, Starscream's arms, Bumblebee's leg, Megatron's leg, etc., etc.
I've always objected to this concept on the principle that if you're going to make your own mashup action figures, you have to be a man, get a screwdriver, and do it yourself.
I think I would be more into this line if it was done without Transformers and if it was done with, like, monsters. Like, you need to have a line where it's designed around the concept of mixing the pieces so they work with other things as well as their own body.
Yeah, but both times they've tried this, they've gone straight into having, what was it? Hero Mashers was literally Marvel Heroes, I think, and Transformers.
Did they do anything else? Was it like Star Wars as well, maybe? They might have.
I think there might have been some Star Wars mixed in there as well.
Probably.
But that was it. There was no actual exclusive stuff, if I remember rightly.
Nah, there wouldn't be.
And this feels the same, because it's like, it's a line that I think you're right, it could actually do nicely if it did have something of its own to build off of.
You can see like the advert in your head if you think back to like the late 80s, early 90s TV advert. I'm sure there must have been things like this where you just rip them apart and then you slap them back together. But it was like I don't know, like they were all like food group people or something like that.
Yeah,
do something bizarre, something off the count.
Yeah, now you've said it, I can see it. I think there was at least one line like that. Yeah,
there probably. It'd be weird if there wasn't. The line so far consists of, at least this new line consists of Bumblebee, Optimus Prime, Optimus Primal, Megatron. There we go. Those are the four that you can get. Bumblebee comes with a spinny chainsaw, which he's well known for, as Bumblebee is. Megatron comes with more, so I guess he's more expensive. He comes with a sword. He comes with his Energon mace. He comes with 2 guns, which I've never seen him use. He comes with a weird yellow and blue backpack, some tank treads, and his fusion cannon. Where's the next one? Optimus Primal comes with his 2 swords and some kind of thing that you use for prostate exams, I assume. I can't really tell. And Optimus Prime comes with... What the fuck does Prime come with? Prime comes with yellow boots, yellow gloves, his Energon axe, 2 null rays for some reason. What's the gray, the 2 small gray things and the big gray thing? Is the big gray thing like a backpack, like a jet backpack?
I'm not sure. I thought it was a blast effect of some sort. It might be a jetpack. You know what I'm actually thinking of? I think that Prime and Meg's blue and yellow jetpack's supposed to go with Prime's extra bits, and that those null rays and the weird purple thing is supposed to go with Megatron.
That would make more sense.
That's my guess.
Collect them all, I suppose.
Yeah. I mean, it's nice to see Primal in there. That's a genuine surprise.
But it's not movie Primal either. It's just Primal, OG Primal, which is all right.
It's Beast Wars Optimus Primal. That's actually kind of cool, and it's not a bad reputation of him.
Though, to be fair, image 7 of the child holding the Optimus Primal, he looks like he's looking at him like, I don't know who you are.
He varies a bit about it,
Yeah.
And the first one, he looks far too happy to have merged him with Bumblebee. And is that a Starscream leg as well?
Whereabouts?
It's one of those.
Oh no, yeah, it is. Yeah, there's definitely Starscream leg and wings in there. I don't know
where you head. It looks like that. It looks like it's for one that comes before the picture of him holding Primal.
Yeah, if you go to Bumblebee's packaging, Starscream is in the top right-hand corner of the actual packaging.
Yeah.
So the Starscream is coming, and yeah, there's the Starscream sitting on the table there. I guess they're just not advertising Starscream yet for some reason.
That's so...
It's odd.
That's really weird.
Spoilers. Starscream's coming, chat. Get ready, I suppose. But yeah, like you say, it's just the evergreen stuff, apart from Primal. But I guess these things are okay for kids. It's just... It feels like they went back to the well and went, what toy line failed? Oh, this one did. Should we try it again? Yeah. Yeah, all right. Yeah, sure. And do this with Inhumanoids. Bring back Inhumanoids into this line. That could be awesome. Fun.
Centurions?
Centurions would actually be really good idea for this, I think, to be fair. Yeah. Really good idea.
I do like that they've used that bright blue that they used to use on the power core combiner ports and the Energon battle stuff for the first movie. That's a nice little touch. Gives it its own little,
It lets you know, like, don't break these bits, children. These are the bits you don't rip out. You need these bits. I'm just guessing that that's what they're for. I guess this would be okay for a kid, but again, does a kid want this, or does a kid want a transformer that transforms?
Yeah.
Even if it's a transforming transformer? You know? I don't know.
I mean, I was going to say, if he's transformed, but then I realised, well, we've had that in like the last three main lines of Transformers, and no one seems to give a damn.
Yeah. I don't know. It's weird. Puddle of Cheese says, I'm back. Star Cheese or Optimus Swiss? Who wins?
Ooh.
Star Cheese.
Mega Mozzarella, surely.
Oh, that's not bad. That's pretty good. Goudatron or Bumble Cheese? Bumble Cheese sounds rude. I don't like Bumble Cheese. Bumble Cheese sounds like something that
sounds like a punishment.
No, I think Bumble Cheese sounds like something you go to the doctor for. Got a lot of Bumble Cheese. Can you help me out? But yeah, the Mix Smashers, they're back. This is a line that I guess if you liked and you got loads of last time, well, there's more, I guess.
Yeah.
Cool. Next up, we have, in quotations, a possible first look of Age of the Primes, Primer. And yes, we have a corpse. We have a headless body, and that is it.
Someone got a bit too excited recreating scenes of TF1 by the looks of things.
Yeah, I'm guessing he turns into some sort of train, maybe? Oh, no, it's some sort of... I don't know. Yeah, maybe it is a train, because it looks like in the backs of his legs, those look like train wheels, but I don't know. I mean, this is speculation. To be fair, it's hard. I don't really want to say that this figure looks shit, because it kind of does, but it's not transformed correctly. It's not posed correctly. It's got no head. We don't know if it's missing anything. It's just, here's a thing on a wooden table.
I mean, my only real concern with this is how much gold plastic's involved, but you would hope they've solved that issue by now.
To be fair, I don't know if this is gold plastic. It just may be toffee-colored plastic.
Yeah,
because there's no swirl. It doesn't look like there's any swirls in it, or like
that's true.
No shine to it. It's just a weird-looking thing. It's just, here you go. There's a tease.
Like you say, it's not complete.
No,
I don't think it's got any paint. It's got a paint apps applied to it, which
does it
has to. I don't see any paint on it.
Oh, I thought you said you did see paint apps, and I was like, do you?
No. So yeah, and it's the most unflattering pictures possible, really.
Oh yeah. This is having a photo of yourself on the dating website, but the photos of you in the morning having a poo on the toilet with no clothes on. It's like, oh, okay, well, it's not my best look.
I think the best we can say about it is they are actually clear pictures.
Yes.
But they don't really tell you anything.
That's true, yes.
Because they're just clear pictures, but really...
It tells us that this is a Voyager, because he's got like a opposable hand, like his fingers open up, so this is Voyager scaled.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Yeah.
I don't have much to say about it, but...
I mean, I'm kind of looking forward to seeing what we get out for this Age of the Primes line. So this isn't exactly unexpected to see coming. It's just like, meh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, this is the best I got as well. It's like, yeah. There'll be better images of this in the future, and we'll find out what he transforms into, and we'll also get to see what the head looks like as well. Simon says, I think it's a test production. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case. Yeah, so it might not even come in caramel colors.
Well,
might be completely different, because I don't know what Primer is off the top of my head. I never paid that much attention to the 13 because I thought it was it got a little bit too silly, I think.
Yeah, he's had a couple of interpretations of him. I think normally he is depicted as being quite gold.
Oh, so maybe this is his color scheme. Who knows?
Maybe.
It's one of those things. Who knows? We'll find out next. Maybe we'll find out in the early year when we have New York, London, Toy Fair, whichever one it is.
Yeah.
I don't know. Hopefully we'll see something about it soon. The last bit of news for today is we have another G1 Optimus Prime coming. Kind of a weird time to release a new one. But this is the Studio Series Devastation Deluxe Optimus Prime. So it has a lot of problems.
Yeah.
Because it is an Optimus Prime figure that's trying to be a deluxe, which was always... The deluxe ones have never came out desperately well. But they are trying to get across that more stylized proportions to like his chest and his head that the game went for as well. It doesn't help that I would say that the pose they've put him in are not the most flattering. Again,
no. I get why they went for those poses, but
they're not the best.
No, if that's the best they could come up with, then that's a worry.
It's annoying because there are really good like toy photographers out there in the world. And I'm sure they could do a better job than this. I'm sure Hasbro could do a better job than this because we've seen them do better jobs with their G.I. Joe line.
The version of the way they've posed them on the back of the box is almost identical to that first picture. But it looks so much better just because it's a slightly different angle.
I wouldn't say so much better, but definitely better. Definitely better.
It feels better than that one. It's not. It doesn't feel quite as janky as that one does. That might be the touch-ups, but I think just the angle they've taken this picture in.
It's not the best. Things he comes with a Energon axe, but it is in hard yellow plastic, or it's been painted yellow. Who knows?
I think it's all yellow plastic.
I'm not sure. Yeah, it's hard to tell. We'll find out when we see the handle. I think. They have given it a swish effect, but it doesn't look great.
It's yellow paint over red plastic.
I had a feeling it might be painted, but I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
It's made to look like it has a big Energon swish to it, so it's like moving through the air. I don't think it pulls it off desperately well. It does look a little bit like if you just kind of turned it to the side, so where the swish is, so the swish is pointing down. I hate to bring up cheese again, but it does look like it's made out of runny cheese and it's dribbling.
Yeah.
And I think it's because it's not translucent plastic, and I'm usually not an advocate for translucent plastic, but in this case, for in quotations an Energon axe, it shouldn't be opaque. It should be translucent.
Give it its props. For yellow paint over red plastic, it's a nice, rich golden yellow.
It is. Yes.
It's a it's the promo image, but so you'd hope they'd use the best version they could, but it's not always a given. But yellow paint looks good on a Transformer. No,
again, not for an Energon axe. This is not something you do. I wouldn't have said. He also comes with a matrix, which he can store in his boobs. I don't think you needed to do that because I don't remember him. Did he use the matrix in the game? Offhand, I don't remember. He might have.
I don't think I ever got far enough into the game to say one way or the other.
It takes no time to get through that game. What the heck, Big D?
Well, I keep starting it and then going away, and then I need to go back to it. I know.
I would say this is engineering and money that shouldn't have been spent. Like you don't need to do a matrix and a movable boob for a deluxe figure. You don't need that.
I could have gone on other stuff in this figure. To
anything. Be honest. Translucent plastic for an Energon X. I don't know. I do like the head sculpt. I do like generally the proportions seem to be okay. My issue with this is we've just got Studio Series Commander Optimus Prime.
Yeah.
And now again another Optimus Prime that is deluxe scale in the Studio Series line. That's effectively just the G1 Optimus Prime look. It is. No matter what you say. And I've heard some really bad takes, which is like, but Transformers runs on like, this is how we get stuff like Magmatron. It's like, I get it. If this was a year or 2 years later, after Commander Prime, that would make sense. To me, it doesn't make sense why you have a Prime competing with a Prime. And you go, well, what you give options to people who can't afford the Optimus Prime.
Think about it. This is the 4th Studio Series Optimus Prime within a year.
4th? What are the other ones?
Yep. We had Gamer Edition War for Cybertron.
Oh, okay.
We had Studio Series TF1.
Yes.
We've had Studio Series Commander. And now we've had this. We've got the upcoming G1 Optimus Prime in the main line, Legacy Deluxe, based on the G1 toy. We've had the Missing Link Optimus Prime, which I kind of discount because it's a bit different, but it was widely available in two flavors.
It is an Optimus Prime, so yeah,
Yep.
I get what you're saying. Yeah.
I know it's 40th anniversary, but still, just within that, that's not including all the other TF1 Prime figures we've had. Some of the there's been a lot of Optimus Prime this year.
Yeah.
This was kind of unnecessary.
Simon says price point for kiddies. I get that, but I don't think you want to...
It's also Studio Series, which has never been marketed that way.
I don't think you want to compete a Prime versus a Prime. I think you want to have... If you're like, hey, if you want Optimus Prime, get the big one.
Yeah. I mean...
Get the big one.
I don't actually have a problem with there being another Optimus Prime at the deluxe price point. It's just this particular version feels unnecessary.
With it now.
Yes.
Again, a year later. Just wait.
I mean, have they said when this is due for release?
Well, I mean, if we're seeing it in packaging, it can't be too far off. It doesn't say here exactly when it's coming. But, again, if we're seeing in-hand image, well, not in-hand images, but in-hand packaging and promotional art, it can't be far off, I would say.
I mean, the actual picture of it in packaging looks really nice.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Nice box art. It looks good in the packaging. And for 25 quid,
it's an okay Prime.
And it is a budget option for people who can't get the Commander class version. Or I actually do respect having options across price points. But when we've had so many versions of Prime just this year alone, it feels unnecessary.
Excessive.
Yeah. It would have been nice to see a different character from Devastation, maybe.
There are a few.
I mean, but then your options, it's what? Prime, Bumblebee, Sideswipe, Wheeljack, and Grimlock for the Autobots.
Yeah.
Decepticons is Visual Suspects of Megs, Soundwave, Starscream.
The Insecticons.
Actually, you know what? If they're going to do this, give me a 3-pack repaint of Runabout and Runamuck as for Decepticon Goons.
That'd be fun.
Troops. I've wanted those guys recolored as grunts for ages because one thing, those grunt designs are quite fun.
Mm-hmm.
And I know they're not to everyone's taste, but I did actually quite like both their Siege toy, both their War for Cybertron toys.
I never got them, so I don't have an opinion on them.
But I've also always had a bit of a soft spot for those particular two characters. So
yeah, it's just weird. It's at least to me, it's again, just don't put it out at the same time as the big Commander one is what I would have said. But what do I know? I'm not a businessman.
Just like the previous Gamer Edition figures, it's a figure for a game that people love, but you can't actually buy it anywhere.
No, you have to go secondary market if you want to get it now.
Yeah, and you can't get it on any digital storefront, which is insane.
And that's why digital storefronts are not great. Physical's usually better to go for because it can just take away your thing. Luckily, I can still play them if you've already bought them. It's just for anybody else, like anybody new to the fandom. Tough. You got to buy a physical, or you can suck a titty effectively. But that's all of the news for today. Unless Big D has anything else you want to talk about.
I had some new Transformers arrive yesterday.
I meant news-wise because there was one other thing, and I can't remember who mentioned it. I'm scrolling up chat.
And
somebody mentioned... Oh, it was Exelhedge. Exelhedge says, Andy, Big Firebird, Black Arachnia. Now, obviously, that's not on TFWs. I'm going to have to... Let me Google it. Big Firebird... Is it just Black Arachnia? Or does it have a fancy name? Big Firebird, Black Arachnia. I was buried in the TFW pages. Okay, I'll send you the link, Big D. And we can have a talk about that. Boop, boop, boop. Over to Big D. And put this, scrolled all the way down. Put this back on the thing. Okay. If these are the correct things. Is this big? Oh, yeah, this is Big Firebird. Is this Big Firebird, Black Arachnia? This is a super stylized Black Arachnia, if it is. It looks way more like an entirely new take on Black Arachnia is more like an Egyptian goddess kind of thing.
Huh.
It's a transformer, though, I suppose. Yeah, I would not describe this as Black Arachnia, though. Do you have the images, Big D?
I do. Huh, that's incredibly stylized. Yeah, that is.
It's basically a new character. I would not say this is Black Arachnia. I like it.
Looks like, I mean, it looks like is she a scarab instead of a spider? That's really
maybe.
weird.
It's hard to tell.
The art mode is literally she's just laid down.
They've done stuff with the legs and stuff, but I know what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah, it's.
No, it's
heavily
right.
stylized,
Okay,
but there's really weird stuff going on there.
The insect mode or the arachnid mode is the backside, because if you look at the card silhouette, it shows you the correct way around, and you can see it's got the thorax at the back. So they're not showing us the spider face at the moment.
Oh right, I'm with you.
Or whatever kind of insect it is on the front at the moment.
That's really. Oh yeah. I see now. They've just posed it for beast mode the wrong way around. That's really weird. That's so bizarre.
It is.
I mean, it's actually not a bad looking figure. I wouldn't call it a transformer though, by any stretch.
I mean, I think this is as much of a transformer as, say, the Starscream girl and the Bumblebee girl. You know, that had the parts.
Yeah.
It's a similar kind of idea where they don't actually do a lot of the transforming, but they have stuff around them that can.
Yeah,
I'd say it's an interesting look. I'm not sure how good of a, like you mentioned, Big D, a transformer it'll be, is how I'd throw it out there. So Big D, you mentioned that you got some Transformers this week. So what do you got? Yeah,
I hit up In Demand Toys, currently running their end of year closeout sale. They're adding more stuff all the time.
Every now and again. I'm annoyed because I'm like, come on, add something that I want to buy. Because they always have like one thing that I want. They had two things at one point. They had the Cobra boxing dude who was like 16 pounds. He was like, I don't know. And they had the Cobra Metalhead, and both of them I was kind of considering. I was waiting for something else to go on sale as well, and then nothing came, and both of them gone. And I was like, oh, well.
Oh. Well, I mean, I nabbed... well, they put Legacy animated Bumblebee down to £7, which was far too good to pass up. Ditto for the Legacy Nucleus, the other rock lad.
Oh, okay.
Yep. And same for Studio Series Nor.
Yeah, he's like £9. Oh, did you get the 59 pack of him?
No, I just bought one. He's only £7.
Yeah.
So I did have two in my basket, but I realized I only needed one right now.
There is like a batch version you can buy where there's a fuck ton of them. It's like, that's funny.
Yeah, you can just buy 8 in one go. It's brilliant.
Do you want to army build them in just one go? Boom. There you go.
I mean, it's a nice option to have, to be fair.
Yeah.
It's had excessive, but it's awesome.
Yeah.
And then I grabbed Studio Series Scrap Heap, the other junkie on bike, and Animated Optimus Prime, both for £15 each. So... just over £50 for the whole lot.
Oh, so you were going for you free shipping. That's what I always do as well. I'm always like, I got to get up to at least £50 for free shipping.
Well, I was going to get Black Series Mara Jade, but the pricing didn't work out, or Legacy Cybertron Starscream. That one I'm waiting to drop a little bit further, possibly. Yeah,
they've got Silverbolt on there, and it's like 27-ish quid. I'm like, come on, that's been out long enough that you should drop it a bit more. Come on now.
Yeah, but no, I ordered them on Friday, and fair play to In Demand. They had a thing up on their website saying, warning due to high volumes of sales and maybe delays. This stuff shipped on Friday. It arrived yesterday.
That's not bad. That's all right.
It's not at all. And you know what? I'm actually really happy with all of them. Bumblebee is tiny, but he's actually still the same size as Studio Series Bumblebee, so not that small. Animated Prime is very hench, and I'm really trying to fight the urge to get the DNA upgrade kit for him, because that would mean paying 3 times what I paid for the figure just for the upgrade kit. Nucleus, you know what? Nucleus, I low-key think might be my highlight of the whole order, just because I know he's one of the Infernac universe guys, but he's got such a nice deco. For some reason, Hasbro are now free with me for figures who have like a really nice grey color palette of accents. Because I dug Alpha Trion with his burgundy and gold over grey, Ferrac with his two-tone greys, then orangey reds is really nice. And this guy, who's mostly like off-whites and silvery greys, but with spots of this really nice gold paint they've been using recently, he just pops really nicely. And he's got a killer head sculpt as well.
Okay.
So yeah, I kind of dig all of them, to be fair, but he's really my standout. And I didn't think I'd be saying that about a bloody Rock Lord.
Rocker.
Yeah, but no, they're all fun, but he's nice. Oh, and I paid off the balance for the DNA upgrade kit for Silverbolt and Tigerhawk. That's on its way, so that should be here in the next week, hopefully.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, that was my TF collecting for this week.
You not been up to anything else this week? You not done anything else for fun, son?
I've been doing a little more kit bashing basically getting parts together. So I'm kind of building some bodies to use for Adeptus Mechanicus kill team project. I want to do because Games Workshop haven't announced one yet. I figure I'll just build a kit, build my own unit so they can announce they're releasing one. So I want to do a Adeptus Mechanicus Explorator kill team. That's like all. You've played Mechanicus, right?
Yeah. Waiting for the next one to come out.
Yeah. I just want to do a kill team that's all the weird tech priests, the different type, techno-archaeologists who have got all these weird, whimsical guns they're taking into tombs to find weird technological shit, and some henchmen for them. So I was just going through my bits box and realising I have a lot of AdMech parts. And I've been working on, slowly but surely, I'm doing a Ogre bodyguard conversion using the Ogre Warlord kit from Age of Sigmar. So I've had a few more bits of that right. I'm still trying to get my head around how I want it to look and which parts to use, because I think I need to do a bit more trimming. But I recently picked up a lithium battery router tool, which is a little handheld one. But I want to have a play around to see if that works for getting big chunks of material off. So that should all be good fun.
Nice.
But yeah, that's kind of me. As ever, building, and then waiting for more parts to arrive.
The life.
Yes. Unsurprisingly, no painting done, but I will get to eventually.
When?
I mean, I'm trying to compress all my bits down into either build them or have them broken down into boxes so I can store them more effectively. So I am getting there.
Okay.
It's just a very slow process because my painting desk is within like a meter of me.
Right.
I just can't actually get to the desk at the moment.
Oh, sounds like excuses, man.
It is. Maybe I should just send some of my stuff to members for Fluff and Hammer. That might help.
I mean, I don't think people will be like, no, please, not Warhammer stuff. Ugh. He wants that.
You say that, Gruff. I gave Gruff all my Vermintide Skaven, and he seemed most perturbed by the fact he now had like triple the number of Skaven he had before.
Yeah, because he hasn't painted them yet. And he's got back into the pain of, I have millions of rats that are unpainted, which is what he was like before the new Skaven models had came out.
I mean, he's the one who plays Skaven.
Yeah, I know.
He
plays a horde army.
Yeah.
I don't like painting hordes. Well, yeah,
I have no sympathy for him.
No.
I play Imperial Guard.
Yeah. The pain of the guard.
Without tanks.
Oh, no. Why without tanks?
Oh, I very rarely play Guard with vehicles, to be fair.
Do you hate tanks? You hate fun?
No, I just see my opponent's face when I drop down over 100 infantry on them.
What, and they all miss? Or one hits? And it doesn't do any damage? Because they're Imperial Guard.
Yeah, but it's always fun to see their face when they realise how many bodies they have to chew through. Hey, I did it at Grand Tournament. I took an army of 100 Cat and Jungle Fighters in 3rd edition.
Oh, 3rd edition. Okay.
When that was a lot. I outnumbered most of my opponents 4-1 minimum. In some cases, they had less models than one of my platoons.
How did you do?
Terribly, but it was still a fantastically fun time.
It's like 4-1. How did you do? Awful. I lost a lot. Okay, well, fair enough.
I mean, in fairness, it wasn't optimized because I had it was all missile launchers, heavy bolters, and autocannons, and flamers. Because I built it out of the Jungle Fighter kit back when that was the only plastic guard kit.
Oh my god! So that's it then.
Yeah, pretty much.
Right.
You've been up to much?
Well, for myself, I haven't done a huge amount. I picked up Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Splintered Fate, which is kind of the Hades style game that's been out on Nintendo Switch for a while and finally came over to PC.
How is that?
It's very much Hades for babies. It's a lot easier, a lot more simple. There's not as much to it as there is for Hades, but it's fun enough. If you like a roguelike game and you like just playing through 5 stages quite a few times over and getting stronger with all 4 of the turtles, you play mildly differently, not massively differently, but Donatello's a bit slower, but he's got bigger range because he's got the bow staff. Leo, who's kind of the all-rounder but doesn't seem desperately good. Mikey, who's really good at doing multi-hits. Like there's a stat which is like you hit once and then it counts as 2 hits. And Raph, who's the crit machine, Raph's the best because like his crit damage is just ridiculous. But it's not bad. I'd say like wait for it to be on a sale and pick it up because it's quite fun. But Hades is a better game. Hades is a much better game. So I've been doing that recently. I watched The Penguin. I've all the series, all the episodes of Penguin now, the Netflix show.
How was that?
It's very good.
Okay.
It's definitely worth a watch. I wasn't a big fan of Patterson Batman. I thought it was fine. Then I didn't like Riddler. I thought Riddler was okay until he had the autistic screaming kind of at the end, which was cringy as fuck. I didn't like that because he was a pretty intimidating like Zodiac killer. And then the autistic screeching felt like they were deliberately going for kind of incel stuff, which I was like, you had a cool villain, and then you ruined it by doing a modern day thing. And I was like, what a shame. What a shame.
I mean, the reveal when he is finishing up his videos, and he's just talking to everyone like a podcaster.
Yeah.
I thought that was pitch perfect. They didn't need to have him go all wibbly wobbly at the end.
Yeah, it was too much.
Yeah.
Also, the Joker scene at the end of that Batman movie was also just bad. It's like, no, you don't need to do it.
Yeah.
But the actual Penguin show, I mean, Colin Farrell in the Batman was good, and he's really good in the show as well. It's definitely worthwhile watching.
It's got a great supporting cast, though, doesn't it? It's got Clancy Brown, Mark Strong, Christina Milana's Sophia Falcone.
Yep. She's a pretty lady.
Yeah.
I would like to do nasty things to her if she'd let me.
But yeah, I've heard good things. Oh, tell you what I have watched. I'm up to date on Arcane Season 2.
I've seen 2 episodes of it so far.
That show is awfully pretty.
It's very good, and the story's not bad. I don't want to say too much about the story because with only 2 episodes, with only 2 episodes for me, 3 episodes for you, it's still very early into the show.
No, I'm 6 episodes in. They dropped the second batch yesterday.
Oh, did they? Okay. Yeah. I'll need to watch the rest of them. How many batches is it going to be? How many episodes is it meant to be? 10?
3 batches. The last 3 drop next week.
Okay, so 9 in total. Okay.
Yeah, it's just fun because I've never given a damn about League of Legends before. I still kind of don't, but it's been a great story. So
yeah, and like you say, it's a very well-made, pretty show, and the story's at least in season 1 was good, and you seem to be liking the rest of it. But I watched, like I say, 2 episodes of that as well. That was good. I've been watching Mori Zero Season 3, which is still good. And I tried out a new show called Chikyu no Udon ni Suite, I think it's called, which is, what's it called? Revolutions Around the Sun or something like that.
Oh, is this for one that's set in like the Middle Ages and has the Inquisition?
Yeah, it's like Middle Ages Poland or something like that.
I've heard it's a bit of a hard watch at times.
I don't see how, unless you're a puss.
Or am I thinking of a different show?
I don't know. Well, what do you mean by a hard watch?
Well, there's one show this season that does feature the Inquisition quite heavily, and it doesn't shy away from, well, what they got up to.
Yeah, that's probably this show.
If you're a heretic. Okay.
Yeah,
I haven't gone to watching it yet, so I'll have to give it a go and see what it's like.
Yeah, the premise of the show, for those not aware, is we're in the Middle Ages, and the idea is the Earth is the center of the universe, and everything kind of revolves around that. This kid wants to be an astrologist, and obviously discovers or comes to the conclusion while talking to a convicted heretic that what if it's we that circle around the sun, and then he has to not get caught by the Inquisition.
Isn't the heretic Galileo?
No, I can't remember what they call him off the top of my head, but it's not. It's definitely not Galileo. He has a different name, like I think it's Hubert. They call him. If Galileo is in the show, I've only seen 3 episodes, so if Galileo is here, I haven't seen him as of yet.
Okay.
But yeah, they do show a man being tortured by having his fingernails pulled off. And he's like, oh, you're not going to break me. Once you've pulled off all my nails, I'll never tell you. He's like, and the Inquisition guy goes, 69. And he goes, what? Like, it puts a handful of 69 fingernails on the table, and he says, it took 69 fingernails to be pulled for this guy to break. And he goes, bro, your fingernails grow back. And then the scene ends, and I'm like, oh, bro, that's a bad day. It's true.
Yeah.
You can survive like getting your fingernails pulled off. It's like, oh yeah, that fucking sucks. You could probably maybe manage it. And then you're like, oh, I need to do that a lot. Because that's at least nearly 7 more times that your fingernails pulled off. So it was a bad time for that guy. But yeah. So far the show's really interesting. I like the premise.
That's cool.
They actually talk about how they did astrology back in the day, which was they used a little weird round device, and most of it was just looking up at the stars and just kind of figuring out with your eyes versus using not microscope, telescope. So yeah, it's quite fun. I'm interested in it so far.
I've also gotten far too invested in 2 other anime shows. Dan Da Dan.
Yeah, that's very good.
It keeps getting. It maintains an excessively high standard each week, which is shocking to me for a shonen show, to be honest.
Yeah, the story is actually interesting, and the animation's really high quality as well.
Yeah, and it has characters with personality that you don't want to murder. But also the reboot of Ranma Half, which I was always aware of Ranma. And I've read
that's kind of shonen-y girl romancy kind of show, isn't it?
Kinda. I mean, I'd read some Rumiko Takashi stuff back in the day, like Fire Tripper, and I knew about all of her many works, but I'd never really watched many of the adaptations, if any, because of when I was getting into things as a fan.
Yeah.
But this is actually a really fun reboot. It's a fun show. I mean, 7 episodes in, and it's not at all what I expected it to be. I think partly because it is from a source by a female creator. There's stuff that could have seemed a lot squickier if it was from a male creator. So, it's just fun. And it's got a nice touch where there's a temptation with a lot of the shows to move the series from its original setting to modernize it, which in a lot of cases can be a detriment because having things like smartphones can completely obliterate the premise of a show because you have to accept that no one's actually getting on one of these smart computers and talking to people or looking things up.
Yeah.
But no, it keeps it in the period it was intended for. And yeah, it's just fun. And it's one of those shows that I think because it's not like the original, which was kind of being made as the manga was being made, I think they're not falling into they're basing it much more closely on the flow of the manga. So there's not going to be anywhere as much filler. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing where it goes.
Nice.
Yeah.
The only other stuff I've been up to is I finally got my Superior Spider-Man Marvel Legends figure. I was meant to get it on like the 15th of last month, and you know when you check Amazon and you look to see where it was, it had been sitting in the Amazon like departure office near me for ages, and I was like, I mean, it's fucking November, and I just went fuck it, and I said, give me a replacement, and they say, okay, if the other one comes through, you're gonna have to post it back. I was like, whatever, just give me my fucking Spider-Man figure. I got him. He's a really good figure. He looks great.
Cool.
The cool thing about the figure is, or the thing I really like about it is, on one of the heads they've got like reflections painted onto the eyes of like a cityscape.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, it's a really nice little detail. It's obviously Otto Octavius as well, Spider-Man, if you haven't read that before. It's a good figure. It looks nice. It's a nice costume as well. And it comes from a good run.
The Superior Spider-Man costume was always a nice redesign.
Yeah.
To be fair, I even have a soft spot for his Superior Octopus version of it as well, to be fair. I was kind of bummed when they brought him back to being just regular old Otto Octavius.
Kind of the nature of comics, isn't it? I need to go, but look at all this cool, interesting progress. You don't have to. Oh, they have. Never mind.
Yeah.
Because didn't he have a girlfriend as well as he was being Peter?
Yeah, she's still a fairly regular character cropping up in Spider-Man. In fact, recently they did a mini-series where Peter and Otto had to team up because it related back to Otto's time as Spider-Man. And they brought back that character as well in a much bigger role.
Yeah, that's nice.
And it was just fun. It fit in. It did things for both characters, and So it was a nice kind of like Dan Slott wrote it again, so he knows the characters. It was his baby, that particular arc. But yeah, it was fun. I dug it.
The worst thing about Dan Slott, he's insufferable on Twitter. He needs to shut the fuck up. He is an insufferable man on Twitter. He's not a nice person on Twitter. I'll say that. But apart from that, that's pretty much all I got up to. It was my birthday on Friday, and one of my friends, Jubal. Thank you. One of my friends, Jubal, sent me some money over the places where you can do that. So thank you very much to Jubal again. But that was it. That's all I really got up to this week. So Big D, where can people find you on the internet if you want them to?
Oh, I am on all the social medias as David Kelly in some form or other. You'll either find this attractive icon designed by our own Mr. Gruff from the Fluff and Hammer, or a picture of Cup, one or t'other. Look for the really weird Welsh spelling of it as well. Yeah. And I'm one of the mods for Fluff and Hammer Discord, where I co-host two shows, one with Gruff, which is it was Fluff and Hammer Minis. It's now become Deeper Dives, where we're going back over older articles on the Fluff and Hammer website and kind of having a bit of a dig and a discussion, just having a general natter about things. And Fluff and Busters, where myself and Mr. Adam White normally stick a film on and again have a bit of a natter over it.
When's your next Fluff and Buster?
Well, one just got released. That wasn't with Mr. White because he took a break, but it was with.
How dare you?
How dare you? It's fine. We covered for him. We got in our pinch hitters. We had Gruff and the delightful Snipe of Snipe and Wib, where we chatted about Predator for 2.5 hours.
You can't replace Mr. White.
Never. I know, he is irreplaceable. We have also recorded 2 episodes covering, because of the upcoming Lord of the Rings animated movie, we thought we'd tackle Lord of the Rings. So we've done 2 episodes covering the extended cut of Fellowship of the Ring, We've done half of the Two Towers. We're going to record the other half this week coming, and we're going to aim to get Return of the King done pretty sharpish as well.
You know what I should do as well? The behind the scenes stuff.
Oh, don't tempt me, Frodo. Don't tempt me.
Because I'd say, I said this to Gruff, in some ways that's even more that documentary is almost more interesting than the actual movie.
It's so good.
It's really good. You know the worst thing about it? They've never done a Blu-ray quality version of it. I don't think they've even released it outside of the special DVD box sets for some reason.
It's always, well, it's funny because when it was on DVD, there were 3 DVD releases of the Lord of the Rings movies. There was the standard theatrical 2-disc versions. There was the extended editions, 4 discs. And then, do you remember they did the 2-disc flipper sets, which gave you the theatrical and the extended cuts in one set?
Oh, no, I don't remember them. Yeah. I had the box ones that had the extended versions with all the cool special features and whatnot.
Yeah. Well, the funny thing is, across all 3 of those releases, each one has a different set of behind-the-scenes features.
Really?
So, yeah, so the 2 discs is all kind of like the very focused, much shorter, much more corporate kind of stuff, and all the trailers and things. So it's all stuff that you kind of expected on a 2-disc collector set of that period for a major film release. The extended cuts have the 2 discs of the appendices in each edition, which are frankly fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
But then on the other release, they have a 3-part documentary that's all footage shot by members of the crew, members of the cast during pre-production, actual production, and post-production.
Oh, that's weird.
And it covers the entire process, but in ways it feels a little. It's not as cleaned up. It's much more. This is the crew. Someone got given a camera and just got told, "Could you just shoot whilst what we're doing?" we want to archive everything, so we want to have a record, and then they stitch together a proper documentary out of it. But it's nice that they had that. A lot of films they don't do that.
No.
But The Ring, I mean, bear in mind these were all released within. I mean, I think those are final editions. They came out. They were like the 5-year anniversary, something like that. Because the extended cuts always came out like 6 months after the theatrical DVD release.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, so they wanted it to be quite a short timeline. But then these 3 editions came out. These 3 sets came out together about 5 years after that, and they got a bit of flack at the time because they weren't Blu-ray or anything. They were just another way to watch the films. But they're perfectly. They're a nice set, and they do have that additional material to give you that insight into the process, which I like. But yeah, doing the appendices, that's a dangerous thing to suggest because
it's worthwhile, I'd say.
Yeah, we're just kind of wary of giving Gruff too much stuff to edit because
that's fair.
He did threaten me with him teaching me how to edit stuff because
Gruff likes to be busy though. He doesn't like to not be busy. Yeah. He's always saying, "Oh, I can't not be busy," and he's always like finding new things to occupy himself. It's just like, you're helping him.
We're giving him content.
Exactly.
I also occasionally host Fluff and Hammer Community Radio. If anyone in the community wants to have a natter, they can do. I'm going to try and do a recording this coming Friday for the next Games Workshop reveal show. Which if anyone fancies joining me for just to ooh and ah and also possibly go, what? Where's my favourite thing gone? More than welcome. I always enjoy having more company. And I also do the watch along, which next up is going to once a month, 2 films. Next up is going to be Johnny Mnemonic and Heavy Metal.
Oh, nice.
So interesting pairing, but yeah, that's what the dice rolled.
Fair play. Well, you can find me on Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube as Decayed Andy. I stream at 10:15 in the evenings most days. You can find me playing video games on there. We're doing Dave the Diver at the moment and Dredge. Those are the two games we've got in circulation. And you can find us on Moonbase 2 forums, Twitter, Twitch, iTunes, YouTube as Moonbase 2 Transformers Podcast. You'll also find us on the ccbunker.weebly.com if you want to get us there. Thank you very much for coming on by, everybody. This seems to be the new time slot between like 9 in the evening till 10 o'clock in the evening. UK time is probably going to be the new live streaming, so you can join us on the YouTubes or on the Twitch like the people who've done today. Thank you very much for coming on by, everybody. And until next week, we'll catch everybody later.
Bye-bye.